Hello everybody, this is Seskinator11, and this is my Killing Antidote challenge run, where I will be playing it on the highest difficulty, the hardest difficulty, Extreme, while taking no damage and not paying for anything in the shops, or the vending machines. So now this segment of the game is quite interesting, because you're going to see here that we still don't have our backpack, so we don't have any access to any of our weapons, and all these hallways are laden with mines, which is probably for the best because in my backpack it wouldn't have done me good anyway because I couldn't defuse them, which adds to this challenge run because you would be able to pick that up way earlier than I did, and please do, folks, don't do what I'm doing in this guide. Instead, do differently and try to make better decisions. But yeah. So for now, I'm just avoiding the mines, and I'm trying to aggro the zombie so he can walk over it and activate it, and there it goes. So now we're making our way through this area, past the graffiti. Here's the dead zombie. I'm going to stamp on his head a few times, just so that way we don't get killed. And there's another badge that you can pick up on the shelf there. But the key here is we're heading straight for the room that has the pistol in it. And the first thing that you're going to do is use the rule of labyrinths, and that is to go left in video game history, or so they say. And thus, I'm making my way through. So we picked up a grenade earlier. I'm going to chuck it over at that cracked wall, and that's going to break apart. And in here, we're going to find the pistol, along with some ammo. And now that we have a means of defending ourselves, apart from grenades, that is, we can now press on and make our way down these winding and very confusing corridors. The first time I went down here, I got lost very much. But once you get a little lay of the land and you explore everything thoroughly, you can find out where you're going quite easily. Again, this is not as complicated of a game as others are, such AAA games are, but, again, it can be complicated at times, though, too. Because if you don't know where you're going, you can get turned around very easily, because a lot of these corridors, they look the same. But I do love the atmosphere. Again, I'm always looking over my shoulder, I'm always listening. You want to be sure that you are staying attentive, so that way you don't die, so that way a zombie doesn't get the drop on you. Because again, folks, you'll be able to hear them. You'll be able to hear the groaning, the zombie noises they make. It's quite easy. So we're moving along here. I'm just looking around because again, we have to explore this entire area thoroughly to make sure that I'm not missing any Z badges or any of the golden skulls. Because now that we have a weapon, we can destroy them. And I do know that there was a golden skull, I believe, back through this vent, so that's where I'm heading right now, folks. But yeah, in this video, we're going to be introduced to some new enemies, which is very exciting. We saw a bunch already in this first chapter. And that's me using the knife to destroy that golden skull. And once we get through, I wonder what the new enemies are going to be like in the lab portion of this, because right now we're in the offices still, technically. But, spoiler, at the very end of this, Jody will take the elevator down and have access to the laboratories, and that's going to be Chapter 2. So, and I'm sorry for this, folks. I turned off my flashlight because I wanted to do an execution move on this zombie, and I realize now that on YouTube it's not going to allow probably any of this. You probably can't see any of it because it's so dark. But there we go, there's the flashlight back on. But what you can see clearly, luckily, is that I do not get hit because my HP doesn't go down. So, unless you increase the brightness on your monitors, you should be fine, or on your phone. But yeah, the pacing of this is pretty nice. Look at me. This is me trying to jump up and hit the golden skull with my knife. But you can't, folks. Unfortunately, when Jody jumps, you cannot attack anything. But you can shoot and attack while you're crouched, though, which is very good. As you should be able to in a modern game. But yeah. But we're still in our underpants. We're still moving our way through the corridors. Trying to stay alive. And yeah. I'm very excited to play Chapter 2, and I think I'll be able to tomorrow evening. To give you an idea, it is Sunday evening right now, and you know, my wife and I just went out for a nice dinner date, and got some good food, had a couple drinks. It was very nice. And now, to top off the evening, I'm finishing up this recording, and then tomorrow's a work day. Which is very sad, folks, because again, as I mentioned in my previous videos, I'm not happy with my job, and I need to find something else that I'm more passionate about, because I'm quite burnt out at my job. I'm not having any of it. I hope I can find something a little bit more well, not enjoyable, because it is work, folks. It's work at the end of the day, but at least something that I'm more interested in and more passionate about, because I still want to help people, but just not in the way that I'm doing right now. And it's really eaten away inside of me. In fact, I am going to therapy for it myself, to talk about it, and I recommend everybody goes to therapy, because again, it's very helpful, you know, having a space to talk to people away from people that you know, away from any personal opinions or anything like that. You know, it can be very beneficial. So I highly recommend it. It can be nice to have. And just to organize your thoughts as well. But yeah, here's some more grenades that we pick up. The game has really handed me a lot of grenades. And I'm just playing it very cautious here. You know, we're doing the crouch walk, making sure we're in the clear. I'm making sure there's no mines either or any skulls up above. But yeah, there's an autosave. And now there's a crossfade because I took damage multiple times in this hallway coming up, and you'll find out very quickly why. We're going to be introduced to a new enemy. Here we go. So yeah, let me introduce you guys to everybody, ladies and gentlemen, to the bloodsuckers. These enemies are absolutely horrible. So this is me just running past, shooting what I can, and getting the hell out of dodge, because these guys will attack you from off screen. They will jump on you. So I'm making my way through the doorway we're supposed to go through, and I don't really care about that zombie. He's the least of my problems. So I put him down, and I'm just firing at these bloodsuckers. They are leeches that will jump on you and try to suck your face, literally. They're kind of like face huggers from Alien. That's kind of what I get vibes of from them, and I'm sure that's what the devs are going for here. But yeah, once you make it through this doorway here, you're in the clear. But again, you do not have a save point here. There's no checkpoint. There's no autosave, so you still have to be relatively cautious, folks. So up here, there's going to be another spawn of enemies, and I'm trying to activate the spawn right now because I'm going to run back and wait for them to run through the doorway. And I believe they are at this point. I'm watching this playback without any audio because it'll distract from Audacity's recording, and I don't want that to happen. Even though in theory it does not pick up that audio, because again, Audacity is set to only pick up my mic on my headset. But still, I want to be able to hear myself talk, because I do have my headset on. So yeah, here's more of the maniacs. Here's more of the zombies that are spawning in, and that's me anti-airing a zombie, a maniac from the air. Love it. Love the anti-airs. But yeah, there's a lot more zombies on the higher difficulties here, and this is extreme, the highest difficulty, so of course there's going to be a shit ton of zombies you have to kill. In easy mode, I feel like there's only a couple zombies and maybe 2 maniacs, but look at how many zombies there are in this corridor. It's quite insane. That's why I didn't want to walk any further after getting through the bloodsucker room. Otherwise, I would have aggroed the spawn of zombies and triggered it, and then they would have sandwiched me in this corridor, and it would have not been a good Jody sandwich. Let me tell you right now, it would have been a terrible one. So we had to be very careful. But yeah, here's me stomping the zombies. Now, there's another setting in this game where it will despawn any dead enemies if there's more than 3 laying on the ground. And I think that has something to do with frame rate and things like that, and processing for the GPU and stuff. So you can set it to more dead enemies on the ground should you want to, or decrease that number further. But yeah, through this vent here, this is the clothing item that we got. It's part of the holiday set that you can get, because it's got a red bow, and that goes around Jody's neck. You know, very, very fashionable for the holiday season, especially with us being in December right now. But yeah, it's never too late for spooky season. You know, spooky season can be all year round in my heart. So thus, we're playing a zombie game, because it's fantastic, folks. But yeah, this is me playing it extra cautious. You really don't have to be this cautious. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, folks. But there's our bow that we dropped after the cutscene, because in the cutscene we lost all our weapons, and you know, when we fell through this multiple floors down, and thus after the cutscene we took damage. You know, scripted damage. After Jody, you know, became some sort of zombie-like enemy and pulled the arm off of that guy and kicked him into the wall, which was quite crazy. I wonder what the exposition is going to be like in the next chapter, because you really don't know or find out anything more apart from that cutscene. So that was pretty shocking. So now in this room, there could be a zombie in this cabinet. Again, that is a completely random spawn. So I'm being very cautious here. I don't think there is one in here, but just in case, I open it very cautiously, as you can see. But it really doesn't matter. They're going to jump out and grab you anyway, and as long as Jody has a knife on her, you're totally fine. You'll do the stabbing animation automatically, and she'll be totally okay. But yeah, here's another one of these suitcases, locked suitcases. So as the numbers get closer to the correct sequence of numbers, the meter at the bottom of the screen, the green meter, will go up higher. So it'll give you a little bit of a hint as if the numbers are correct and if you're getting warmer. Show me the numbers, Mason. What are the numbers? But yeah. But yeah, we're going through, we're being tactical, again, in our underwear, with the pistol down the hallway and the flashlight. But don't you love how Jody's background has nothing to do with having, you know, a training in firearms or anything like that, or even how to hold the flashlight tactically, like you're a cop or something, or even a SWAT officer going in. Or Leon Kennedy, who was a trained cop. It's just so interesting. The background of Jody just doesn't align, but who cares? You know, again, who cares about realism in games? Like, you could be any freaking character you want, and just, you know, if you can fight zombies, you can fight zombies. Who gives a crap, you know? But yeah, this is me being very cautious, because this is another blood-sucking endless spawn room. And in here, if you activate the switch in here, these zombies will fall down from their ropes and start attacking you. And I tried to stand here and hit them with a knife many times. I don't believe I did that in this playthrough. In this playthrough, in this challenge run, I did not touch him, but instead I go for the head on this guy. But look, see, I could hit this guy indefinitely, and he's not going to fall. He's going to remain there until I activate that switch, and then finally take damage after that. But the only reason I'm in this room is because we're going for the golden skulls. But yeah, I was playing around with the bow and arrow here because, again, you don't lose the arrows at all. Even on the hardest difficulty, they don't decay. But yeah, that was one of the golden skulls. And that's the switch there to my left, which I'm not going to touch because, again, it's really not, there's really no point to it. And here's another audio log, and it's important to listen to these audio logs too, folks, because, again, they'll sometimes provide hints or key codes or, you know, ways to go, and again, some more exposition. So it can be very beneficial. But look at this right here. Here's the code to the keypad to my left. Don't you love how they did that? Again, being observant of the environment. And there's a Z badge and some cash. So that adds to the collection that you need for the total for the wonderful unlocks later on. But yeah, folks, I think I'm organizing these videos to make this one be the second to last one, because then the next one will be the final one, where you have to do the zombie defense when you're turning on the power to the elevator, the generators, through the computer. And here's the blood-sucking enemies spawn. And just in case, I'm looking to make sure that these zombies don't come alive, which they will not. As long as you don't hit that switch over there, you're totally fine. But even when you complete the final defense part of this chapter, if you come in this room, these bloodsuckers will still spawn in, which is very interesting. So I'm surprised there's no achievement for killing these guys. Maybe they'll start it or add it later on in a patch. But yeah, you have to be very... Look at that! Look at that right there! I shat my pants just then, figuratively, of course, because that guy came out of the elevator and nearly grabbed me. And luckily I had a knife, and I was able to stab him. But look at how many shots he took to the dome just then. Look at that! I probably shot him about 10 times in the head, and he's still not dead. And I think finally, after the execution, after you can remove the red crystal from his skull, he's finally dead. Because that's the indicator. If a zombie dies and you drop something off of him, that means he's dead fully. So you can be at ease. But yeah, this is me again playing extra cautiously because, again, sometimes there can be random zombie spawns or random squirter spawns. But yeah, in this room, folks, if you notice, there is a mirror that is completely clean. And in this room, we can finally, I believe, switch to the clothing that is Jodie's. But again, I don't believe I can yet because I don't have her backpack. I think it's only if you have her backpack, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on it, folks. But yeah, this is just me doing a little bit of organizing with the inventory, getting some more ammunition, and look at that, another outfit. And then I think I go ahead and shower here just to clean up Jodie. But yeah, but that's me saving the clothing item I just picked up and dropping a save, and then I think I do change my outfit. Maybe I do. I know I go for the shower, which I skipped because I was worried about nudity being showing in the final YouTube video. But yeah, now we're clean. And yeah, no, I think I just go for my backpack and I stay naked. And by naked, I mean just in my underwear. So that's what we do. So over there is the first vending machine that you'll see. And that sells all the weapons. That's something that I'm going to be avoiding. Because I'm not going to... This is part of the challenge run. I'm not going to buy anything. I'm only going to do on-site procurement for the weapons. So yeah, that door is locked, but we'll be able to open that up later on. And first we're going to come through here. And we have to play it cautiously here, folks. Because again, if I were to fall, and if this was a permadeath run, if I was going for the permadeath achievement, where you can't load your game, if I were to fall down from here, that would be over. Jodie would be dead. But yeah, Look at that zombie fall. Boom. Knocks his head on the railing. It was great. But yeah, this is a very well-placed grenade. Look at the radius of this grenade. Hold on. Watch me throw this. See, it fell on the other side. Boom. A large radius. Very useful. So that helps me break open that wall, because otherwise, if you can't get that grenade in that vent, then you need to buy the explosive arrows and just shoot the cracks in the wall perfectly. But again, this is a no shop run. So now I'm heading this way. We're going for the cabinets. There's nothing inside the cabinets, of course. There might be something inside the cabinets on the higher difficult or the lower difficulties, but not in this difficulty, which is going to be fun. But yeah, folks, as I talked about in my previous video, I'm very excited for Terminator 2D. And lately, I've just been, I've really been into the achievements on Steam. And I don't know why. It's probably because there aren't a ton of games lately, and you know, I'm playing it very frugal because I'm mainly focusing on applying to jobs right now and looking for other jobs and networking. So I really don't want to get too invested in a game and too immersed, even though I was quite immersed in this game because it's been great. But apart from that, I've been focusing on job hunting, you know, spending time with my wife, enjoying our dog. We've got an American Bulldog Pit Bull mix, and she is the sweetest thing in the world, contrary to all the stereotypes, you know, all the stigmas regarding pit bulls. Pit bulls are complete babies if you don't know a pit bull or somebody with a pit bull. Like, they are such lovers, not fighters. And they can be great nanny dogs. Oh, and look at that. That was me shooting the venom chunk from the air. And with the pistol, too. But that was because I was very far away, and that one would have hit me if I didn't move out of the way just then. But yeah, we go for the jump, and we want to get a little closer. So I can kill this, I can do an execution on this squirter. And there's another one from around the corner, so we have to play it cautiously here, folks. There's a couple, actually. So, yeah. But again, this game just feels wonderful. It feels good playing this game. And I can't say that for a lot of games. Yeah, Jodie can be, you know, in her just regular running and moving, she can be a little clunky, but the gunning, the aiming, the shooting, it feels amazing. Feels absolutely wonderful. Like, of course, Jodie is going to be a bit clunky. She's a journalist, you know? She has to... There has to be some sort of survival horror aspect, right? Because even when you're playing Silent Hill, and I'm talking Silent Hill 1 to 3, you know, you have a pretty standard run. And then even Resident Evil 1, you know, you have a very standard run that's, you know, not fast by any means, but fast enough to get away from the enemies. And oh, look at that. There was a holiday hat. We just picked up a little Santa hat. So we got another part of the holiday set there. And over there, that's a sewing kit to repair any clothing. But again, this is a no damage run, so we're not gonna need that sewing kit. And here is the this doorway opens so that way we have a better path to get back to the elevator and over to the save point here. So I think I believe I drop a save here at the bed. Yep. I do. I save the clothes. I go for the bed. And there we go. But yeah, folks, this is probably one of my longest commentary projects ever on my channel. I'm not quite used to talking for more than probably 2.5 hours in a project, because I know I did that for MGS2 and doing it on European Extreme No Damage for Big Boss rank. You know, that was a lot of fun. But of course, that was MGS, so I had a lot to talk about in that video. This one, I feel like I'm running out of topics. And it's really bamboozling me. but I'm having fun. You know, this is just a fun project. So here, this is gonna be a sandwich spawn. So this is me doing the crouch roll, because we're gonna get back over here because there's gonna be a few maniacs behind you, and these maniacs are freaking fast. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump over here on this ledge, because then they're gonna have to come through that doorway or through this hole here. But some of them may go around because I did open that door, unfortunately, behind me that links these two areas. So you have to play it very safe. Because see, look, they all ran around. They didn't jump over, which was kind of funny. It's like the AI knew. It knew my trick, and they wanted to get around it. They knew. They knew it all. But yeah, folks, I mean, I know a lot of people have a problem, you know, with, they probably have an issue with their job, or they're not satisfied at their job and not happy. And I wish them well, you know. I hope people have that option to be able to actively choose what job they would like. Because it's a terrible situation to be in, not loving your job. And work is work at the end of the day, don't get me wrong. Like, you have to work. You have to do something that you get up for. You put time in to something for a company or for something else, or helping other people. And it drains you. It naturally drains you for the paycheck. But at the heart, you would hope to have some sort of passion behind it, some sort of interest behind it. And that's something that I unfortunately lost with the job that I have. And I don't wish that upon anybody, really. However, Darkside Phil is another story. Darkside Phil just wants your money. And he excels in the begging. So, he excels in begging, and he also excels in spending the money that you give him. In like 2 seconds. It's ridiculous. But yeah, enough about Darkside Phil. But yeah, this is a mega spawn, though. We had maniacs, we have crawlers, we've got zombies. I'm pretty sure we have squirters, too. They really throw everything at you towards the end of Chapter 1. Because we're effectively more than halfway done. We're probably near the 3/4 mark, but because there's so many enemies in this segment coming up, I'm taking my time so I don't get hit by them. And, you know, we're rocking the assault rifle right now, which looks pretty badass. You know, and I'm not into guns or anything like that. I never have been, but, you know, guns in video games are always fun. Because it's all fake, folks. And for those who don't know better, you know, there's the argument that, you know, video games will lead to aggression. Video games will lead to people becoming murderers. No, it's not that at all. It's the environment people grow up in. It's the people who they look up to, the actual people they look up to, and multiple factors as well. It could be genetic predisposition. It could be, you know, any sort of background in their family. If you know, psychosis runs in their family, if they've got any other issues going on. And take it from me, I mean, I'm a therapist, you know. I know this. I've studied this for years. I've been working in the field for 11 years now, so trust me. And I play video games. You know, I play video games, and look what I'm doing. I'm helping people. I wish them well. I try to be nice to strangers, you know, when I can. And that's what I try. You know, I try to give back to the world and be the person that you want to see in the world, and give off good energy towards the world, especially, too. But most importantly, it's about being true to yourself as well. And if you're not that type of person, great. But I think it goes a long way if you do something like hold the door open for somebody, or you know, help somebody out if they drop something on the ground. Because I feel like we're losing that, you know, faster and faster in this society that we're in. Because we're in this society of we can't trust anybody. You know, it's really sad. And that's the reality, right? Is this a scam? We can't trust anybody. We can't, you know, even when someone is doing something nice, is there a reason why somebody is doing nice things to us? Do they have an ulterior motive? And it's really sad, you know, that people think this way. And don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of it as well. You know, why is this person randomly going out of their way to do this for me? Are they going to rob me? Are they going to hold me at gunpoint? What are they going to do? Are they going to steal my car? You know, it's a terrible thing. That's what goes through my head these days. And I wish it wasn't the case at all, but it is. And it's really fucking sad. So, but anyway, such a dark topic, we got to go to something lighter. Yeah, hopefully, modern gaming can improve, and it becomes less of a live service type system, where corporations just want your money, just like Darkside Phil. But yeah, I mean, there are a few gems here and there in modern gaming, and hopefully Neo 3 will be really good, coming out recently. But again, that's a sequel; it's not a new IP. And I really hope the Terminator 2D game is great as well. Because yeah, it can be really rough, folks. It can be very rough indeed. So we'll have to see what happens. But instead, if all else fails, you've got Killing Antidote, where you can walk around in lingerie and kill zombies as this rather attractive female protagonist. So there you go. But yeah, that zombie spawn was pretty intense, though. But again, when you have a handle for the game, you'll be totally fine. And I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I feel like I'm lost here, you know, waiting around. I think I'm trying to get my bearings. I honestly think I'm getting my bearings. I don't know what I'm doing right now and why this was left in, but oh well. Maybe I was grabbing a drink and sipping some water or something. Oh, it's probably because I heard the enemies. I think that's what it was. Because again, I'm watching this and commentating without audio. So I'm running past this squirter. I think this is again an endless spawn. So there will be random spawns from here on out. So right now I'm just trying to get to this next room. In this keypad, or in this cabinet, there's a keypad, and the code to it is on the paper to my left. And there's some dollar bills inside that cabinet over there. So this gives you the hint of B5C9. You have to follow the where the numbers lie within that chart. A very easy, straightforward puzzle to solve. But yeah, look at all these squirters, my gosh. Where the hell did they come from? There's like 6 squirters in this room. And look at that. That is the projectile squirt. You have to be very careful of that one. Because if you're any way close to that, I believe Jody gets stunned from that squirt. But I've never got squirted on like that before. So I couldn't tell you. And it's so goofy saying that, you know? It's ridiculous. I'm sure the devs did it for a sense of humor. I mean, come on. It's quite evident, given, you know, the taste that the devs have for this game and what you're able to do. But it's the little things in life, folks. Now this is me trying to read the chart again because I got so rudely interrupted by those zombies. But yeah, there we go. And it is the same code every single time. You don't even need to look at that if you know what it is. And there's the next keypad or key card that we need for the orange locked doors. And in here, there's going to be a mine, so be very cautious. You can't just run down this corridor. So, because I have no diffuser, I'm shooting it. And over here, we're going to now be in the same area, one floor up, where we took our shower. And the Devourer rudely interrupted us. So this is where we left our backpack, folks. And now we can finally get the backpack, and I'll be finally able to change back into Jody's main outfit that I had throughout the majority of this challenge run. And we'll be right as rain. So there we go. There's the backpack. I'm going back out. I'm going to immediately go into this vent here to drop a save and get Jody prepped, because now, unlike what I said in my earlier videos, now we're going to go through that door that is locked by the orange keypad, which now we have the orange key card. And through that door, is going to be another Weeper among many other zombies. So now I'm just prepping everything. I'm assigning all my weapons. And again, folks, if you look down at the inventory there, the zombie smasher I'm not going to be using. That's another part of this challenge run too. Because again, you're well equipped in this game. You have many weapons, and I'm going to try to just leave it at that. As much of a challenge as you have, because you pick up a ton of ammo, and you'll be totally fine. So here we go. Now you get to see the fashion show going on here. And for now, I'm not going to don... Yeah, exactly. So for now, I'm not going to put on her original outfit, Jodie's original outfit, and instead we're going to try something new just for a little bit. But I end up putting her original outfit on anyway, because I did save it. So there you have it. But yeah, you can get a little taste of what this is like, you know, where you can put on different outfits and look in the mirror and such. But yeah, this is me dropping a save. But again, I'm going to be changing my outfit one more time, because this is not going to be the outfit I'm wearing. As fun as it is, we're not going to use this outfit. So instead, I'm going to be manually putting on my my original outfit, as you're going to see here. We're slowly decorating her. No, not that outfit. Not that S&M outfit. Nope. Ah, there we go. That is the one. But yeah, folks, you can wear any of this clothing. And again, there's an achievement for putting on and switching outfits 1,000 times. It only counts for one item of clothing. You could have literally one item of clothing that you've picked up in the environment, and you'll be able to get that achievement if you put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off again. So it's quite easy to get. It's just a little bit of a grind, and I mean, you'll get it naturally by just checking out all the outfits that Jodie can wear. So you'll be fine. It's a very easy achievement you get naturally. But yeah, folks, I've been achievement hunting on Steam recently, and I'm just kind of going through. Recently, I went and cleaned up Max Payne 3, the multiplayer achievements, because there was a very kind individual who posted on the Max Payne 3 discussion forums on Steam, and this individual actually has a wonderful Discord, and he literally, nearly every Saturday, he holds an achievement hunting group and will help you get all your Max Payne 3 multiplayer achievements in one sitting. It took probably about 4 hours or so. But what's funny is that my time zone, when he begins, my time zone is 7 a.m. my time. So I had to get up very early on a Saturday to do that. But I'd rather do that than have to stay up until about 3 a.m. to do it, because I am not somebody who stays up late at all. In fact, probably 10:30 p.m., 11 p.m., you know, that's staying up as late as I can usually. And midnight is pushing it these days for me. I am a 35-year-old man after all, and I need my beauty sleep. It's very important. But yeah, folks, I just cannot do these late hours anymore. It's just impossible these days. I need to keep, and I say late hours because the latest I would ever stay up usually would be like probably between midnight and 1 a.m. And now I just can't do that anymore. It's just out of the cards. So, alright, so folks, I'm going to be planning this zombie spawn accordingly. I go for the execution on that zombie, and he flew in that direction over there. And that's probably because of the 240 frames per second that I'm running this game at. And the zombie flew away. The Weeper is inside the conference room area over to my left. So she will not notice you, I believe, until you either walk into that room and fire a gun at her, or if you throw a mine over here like I'm about to do. So there she is in that corner. I throw the mine, and then I run out. I throw another mine, because I want to get her as she's running in, but it's probably going to explode that zombie that was closest to me anyway. So now we're remapping our controls, We're remapping our weapons here, and this is me just getting pop shots on the Weeper as it's approaching. But look at this, I'm just unloading on her. Look at that. And then that's me dodging the smack that she has, and she's dead. She takes a shit ton of damage, because she took probably 2 mines as she was running out, and then she took probably like, what, a clip and a half of assault rifle ammo? And now, because I took no damage during that, that fight, I'm going to run in here and drop another save before I kill all these zombies, because I didn't want to have to deal with the Weeper again. But yeah. I really hope that when they patch this game further, that it will save what weapons you have to quick swap, because it doesn't save when you load back into the game. It's really much a shame. So I hope the devs fix that in future patches. But now the objective here is we're going to go through that conference room area, because we're trying to get into the office that allows us to have control over the elevators. And look at that. That was a squirter shooting at me just then. But for now, I'm trying to look around here. There's another vending machine there, and that vending machine typically sells just clothing items, so you don't have to worry about any of that. Selling weapons or anything useful of that nature. But yeah, there's me using my excellent dodging skills from the squirters. But not my excellent aim. I'm kind of missing all my aims, all my shots here. So that's embarrassing for a challenge run. But again, folks, this is like the second or third time that I'm playing this game, so I'm still not quite familiar with the mechanics, and hopefully I'll be a little bit better by the time we get to the Chapter 2 challenge run, if that exists, if Chapter 2 is enjoyable at all. So we'll see. But Chapter 1 is fantastic. But yeah, I think once I'm done, once I commentate the part, the next video, the part for the defense section, once I'm done commentating that, I think I'm gonna keep it off mic and just let you guys watch, because the rest of that was me literally just running around, picking up and making sure I didn't miss any golden skulls or Z badges, and I either will speed that part up, or I'll just keep it going at a normal speed, and because then pretty much after that it's just riding the elevator down, and that's it. That's the challenge run. That's Chapter 1. So, and there's no enemy spawns that that come in when you're running around like that in the very end after the zombie defense section, when you're turning on the generators for the elevator. But yeah, there's a lot of crystals here. The zombies now start dropping a ton of items, especially cash. But the crystals are only good for selling for cash in the vending machine. And that's the zombie grabbing me, even though I was doing the strong attack on him. But it's okay, because for now, it doesn't take damage. I would say it'd be very unfair if you took damage from the grab, but you don't, which is very nice. So now I'm basically just going around here, picking up all the items. We're making sure we're picking it all up just to sell for currency on a separate challenge run save, that is, and not this challenge run, because again, I'm not going to be buying anything from the shop or touching any of the vending machines for that matter. But yeah, I think when I play the first playthrough of Chapter 2, I'll start on hardcore, because again, on extreme here, they really changed a lot with it, especially taking away the bow and that stealth portion with the soldiers. So I think I'm going to start with hardcore just to get an idea of what to expect for Chapter 2, and then we'll see what they change from there, because it is interesting that they do change a few things, especially with enemy spawns and things like that. So now I'm going for this save here, because it was the nearest save. And then we're going to continue exploring, because there's going to be a staircase that you didn't have access to before because you didn't have the key card for it. So I'm going to go back to this conference room area. There's a squirter there that I just totally destroyed with the shotgun. Because again, I love this freaking shotgun. It is amazing. And if you can get into that room very earlier on, with the grenade, standing on the air conditioning covers or whatever they were, you can get a box of ammo for the shotgun. 50 shells you can get in that box, which is fantastic for a shotgun. Because that's a shit ton of ammunition if you think about it. But yeah, this is definitely an endless spawn of squirters that come in. So you have to be very cautious when you're moving around and maneuvering here, because they could easily hit you. But they are not as annoying as the freaking bloodsuckers were. If this was an endless spawn of the bloodsuckers in the rest of this mission, I wouldn't have probably done a challenge run. It would have been too annoying. I'm glad the bloodsuckers were just in the basement portion, and they don't show up anymore after this. So you're fine. Should you decide to do a challenge run like me, that is. But yeah, pretty soon we're going to be getting to the next new enemy of the game. But first we're going to be grabbing some more Z badges, and I'm going to be finding a new bedroom here. And this one has another dirty mirror, I believe, so you cannot, you don't have access to your saved outfits here. Yeah, it's dirty, so. But there is a shower here, and there is another bed to save. Which we are going to drop a save. Because now, I believe we're going to be going to face the Predator enemy for the first time. So that's going to be a lot of fun. As we get more squirters, because the squirters are endless right now. Oh, and look at that. Look at that mapping. Look at that AI perfect aim, anticipating where I am. That squirter literally preemptively fired in the path that the AI knew where I was going. Yeah, and I learned that a lot too. The squirters can be shit. Just make sure you have geometry between you and the squirter shots, because it gets really stupid at times. See, look, there's another one up the stairs. I don't know why I'm even bothering killing these enemies, but I think right now I go for a grenade because I'm going to open up another shortcut that takes me to another save point that's a little closer to this boss fight, so it's easier to load in and out if I take damage on the boss fight coming up. So, yeah, this is me dodging out of the way. There's a Z badge here behind the chair on the table to your left, and that's me checking around for more things. And then this door opens to another save point, and look at that. I would have probably gotten hit in the face if I didn't dodge out of the way there. But yeah, this opens up back to the very beginning hallway of the game, if you remember. And this was where we fought our first horde of zombies, where it was the crawlers and the zombies coming in. And speaking of zombies, hey-oh, there's another random spawn of a zombie behind me. And his head is busted, and he dropped his ammo and or crystal, which is an indicator that he is dead. So now we are going for a save here. I'm going to be making sure I didn't pick up any new items. And there's a crossfade. And now I believe we're just getting ready for the Predator fight. Which you think Predator, and you think the movie Predator, and in a way, you're right, because you'll see what this enemy looks like and you'll agree. So sometimes that soldier, there's one soldier in this room, and sometimes he will one-frame you when walking through that door. Other times he will not and just stand there like a dingus. And that time he stood like a dingus, and I was able to shoot him in the face, and he's dead.
你没事吧？
我没事。
那些是什么人？
不知道，他们是一帮强盗，杀了我的同事。他们想要拿到解药配方。
真的有解药吗？
还没有，研发被中断了，因为……你怎么来了？
我？你认识我？
那人，这是门卡。你快跟我来！
等等，这究竟是怎么回事？
中心实验室在最底层，通过电梯下去。 到时候我……
怎么？这
All right,
是
folks.
什么怪物？
So now this is the Predator fight, and you can understand why he's called the Predator. Especially from that face. Definitely a nod to the actual Predator from the movies. But yeah, what I'm going to do here, this fight is very challenging. If you have a knife, though, he will not insta-kill you, though. If you don't have a knife, he will do this quick stab attack at your chest and insta-kill you. So you have to be very careful. So what I'm going to do instead of dodging him is I'm going to play it dirty, and I'm going to just run around this cabinet in the center of the room. He cannot break this cabinet. He sometimes will be able to zoom his way through, and the rest of this fight, see, look, that was him charging for it, and look, he nearly got me there to the left. But since I blew him up with all the canisters, I did mega damage on him, and then kept peppering him with the assault rifle. And after doing that to his face, he went down quite easily. But yeah, when he holds up his blades in front of his face, he will not take any damage, and if he does, he takes minuscule amounts of damage, so it's not really worth shooting him in the face until he puts his blades down. And when he does, you can do the maximum amount of damage to his face. But yeah. And that was one of the bosses in the game. And it was, again, because of the environment you fight this boss in, it wasn't too bad, using the cabinet to your advantage. But yeah, he takes a beating on extreme.
真是一场灾难。这里的情况比我想象的要复杂。
But yeah, now the poor scientist is dead. But yeah, folks, that was the Predator fight, and now the only thing left to do now is to power the elevators to the laboratory, because that's where we're heading next, and that's going to be the end of the chapter for the next video. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I hope you stick around for the final part of this sequence of videos for the challenge run, and you all take care now.